Hello, I am the cartoonist M. Rashid. I wanted to address this other particular cartoon that has been often shared and spun to mean, but in this particular case, they're not really spinning it. They're just expressing a desire that I take the time to separate the different components of the white racist aristocracy. They want me to believe them, the 4chan crew, want me to believe that the Jewish nation are not white. And they're presenting that like they're using white, unquote, synonymous with the Caucasoid racial group. You know what I'm saying? Like they want those to be in our normal, regular speak in Western society. They're often interchangeable. In fact, Caucasoid race has gone out of favor. People usually don't say Caucasoid or Caucasian a lot like that. They usually just go ahead and say white now in the modern day. But for our purposes, for people who are trying to influence me and trying to get me to no, these are the Jews and these are white. These are two separate groups. That's what they want me to take on, that concept. No. Why? Well, because I'm the Black American former slave class. How does it benefit me to make that distinction from the way you want me to make it? How does that benefit me? Because in history, like I've seen the letter from Rhode Island that the Jewish community in those days in the proto-America, or maybe it was, they were sending this letter to President George Washington, asking to be, you could say that they were actually asking to be considered white formally, in petitioning George Washington, President Washington, for that favor. And I remember him praising them for, their accomplishments and all they've done, and did a little hemming and hawing and stuff, and did them the way their descendants would later do my people, with that just wait gradualism. Like, just wait, you may not be ready yet for full whiteness yet, and they did them the way anyway. That I just made that connection a second ago. All right, that's worth playing around with in the cartoon or two later. But I remember that letter. I remember, with interest watching or reading that part of history and how that functioned, what it looked like, But the power they wielded at the time, what they had. I'm familiar with the Wolf family up out of there, and what that represented, the people, what was going on with the people in that time period from Rhode Island, and what Newport, Rhode Island was and represented in those days. How a very specific group of families owned the rum distilleries, the West African forts, the sugarcane plantations, those great stinking ships for the Middle Passage. Like, the same people owned that entire apparatus in those days, and how it functioned, And from the very beginning, It ran like a well-oiled machine, like it had already been done for centuries before, on a lesser scale, like a well-oiled machine. So, if I take on your rhetoric and just accept how you want me to see it and stuff like that, it would force me to ignore certain facts of history and be in la la land with you. That's not my MO. If I was in la la land with you, I would have to forget that there were wealthy white people in partnership with them too. I would have to ignore that in order to partner with you in La La Landum. I would have to ignore the fact that various economic stages of your people were always recruited to be the slave taker, the slave breaker, the overseer, and every other job like that you performed with enthusiasm and zeal against my people and on his behalf. So, it does not benefit me at all. And here's another thing: if you really want me to partner with you in that way, while you're talking to me the way you talk, remember I stumbled upon 4chan politically incorrect and found you already talking this way. Foul and mockery from the worst place, from the worst, deep in your diaphragm, Turner Diaries, worst shit saying about me. You are without doubt my enemy. Without doubt. So all the stuff you trying to put just on him and trying to pretend you didn't do, it wasn't me, it was him. You're asking me to forget our history together. And the deep hatreds and resentments and stuff that you've always had since the 1600s at least. It was your idea to form the white racist aristocracy. It wasn't his idea. It was your idea. You were tired of being the bottom caste of old Europe. And when you came to North America, you saw an opportunity for something new. And it was you who petitioned him to make me the permanent bottom caste so you wouldn't have to be the bottom caste anymore for the first time in a millennia. That was your idea that I live with, that I'm still trying to get my reparations to make me whole after slavery and after all the shit after slavery. That was your idea. He didn't give a fuck who did the work. He didn't give a fuck who was the bottom caste. He didn't care. Why would he? As long as the work getting done and his billions are, printing out, that's all he cared about. You made that pact that you would be the dedicated middleman in that management position. With all your bitching and complaining, the system runs with you there. So there was an opportunity long ago for the two of us to partner against that one and make a fair society in this new land. A lot has happened since that opportunity. A lot has happened. The first thing that happened was I became the permanent bondsman class and the great wealth of the West was built from my blood, sweat, and tears. And once you all, the aristocracy, tasted that super money, you didn't want to let me go from that position. And it continued up to the modern day. So without doubt, whiteness is all of you. How does it benefit me to see that the way you want me to see it? When while you're saying that, while you're trying to influence me in that way, you're speaking befoulment about me. Nonsense from your dark fantasy about me. That the only reason you say it is to continue this brainwash that you need me to have so that you can maintain your dominant position. This fantasy that you create about me based on all your lies and schemes and nonsense that only you benefit from. There's a difference between the Caucasoid race based on physical racial phenotype versus the whiteness economic system. The whiteness economic political identity group. Those are two completely separate things. And when that one says, I am also white on the census, and walks in the earth with the full benefits of what whiteness means in a racial caste system, that's how he walks. In fact, he's the most successful of you. And your bitching is just jealousy. Because you share the aristocracy with each other, and he's at the top tier. The most successful ethnic group among you all. And your bitching is jealousy for a more successful sibling in function. So it doesn't benefit me at all to partner with you in your bickering nonsense with that one. At all. It's all the same. It's all the same for me. When I say white, all of you, equally. And playing around in the dirt of it, where you all fall in the economics, whichever particular subject I deal with a particular cartoon, the wealthiest, and then the police brutality like stuff down there that maintains it. Anyway, no. And they are white. I don't even have to dig into even though I referenced and linked to one of those white pages showing like that particular group of them that were like clearly European, pure blood European from straight out the ore of Europe. You dismissed it with some, they're not even white. When will he realize? Shut up. So, no, they are white. It does not benefit me whatsoever to make those divisions among you. This one's more white and this one's not. You function the same. Both of you equally are subjugating my people for further exploitation and plunder. Both of you. You are his support class in function. High level management support class for that one. and you're bitching is because you want to be in that position and you want him to be the second best, and y'all still function the same. But that bickering means nothing to me. I don't care. I need my reparations. I need to be equally competitive in the markets, and my people need their long overdue wholeness. That's all I care about. You all's bickering means nothing to me. So stop saying that dumb shit. Peace.